Um, Hello everybody. Can you hear me? अगर तुम लोग मुझे सुन सकते हो एक बार बस चैट बॉक्स में यस लिख दो. ओके ओके सो आज हम पाथवे 1 to 4 ट्राई करेंगे कवर करने के. ओके कवर करने के इन द फर्स्ट एंड्रॉइड स्टडी जैम. इससे पहले इंफॉर्मेशन सेशंस थे. सो बिफोर स्टार्टिंग द कोर्स एक दो चीजें हैं विच आई विल शेयर विद यू. ओके ओके सो आज हम जो पाथवेज जो हम 4 पाथवेज करेंगे would be introduction to Kotlin, create your first app, build a basic layout and add a button to an app. You will see हम किस पॉइंट तक कवर करते हैं आज. So Kotlin is very similar to Android, but Android और Kotlin से पहले एक दो चीजें कुछ और चीजों की हम बात कर लेते हैं. So जो हम प्रोग्रामिंग करते हैं, हमारी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस बहुत सिमिलर है हमारी ह्यूमन लैंग्वेजेस से, एक्सेप्ट प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस बहुत कम कॉम्प्लेक्स है फॉर्चुनेटली. सो जैसे हम एक दूसरे से बात करने के लिए वी यूज आवर लैंग्वेजेस, राइट? सो नाउ सिस्टम से कम्युनिकेट करने के लिए वी नीड दोस प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस. जब हम कोई प्रोग्राम रन करते हैं और जब हम प्रोग्रामिंग करते हैं इस चीज़ में फ़र्क है, बिकॉज़ जब हम प्रोग्राम रन कर रहे हैं वी आर जस्ट रनिंग अ प्रोग्राम लाइक वी आर जस्ट प्लेइंग अ गेम. हमें इस चीज़ से फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता है कि उसके बैकग्राउंड में क्या चल रहा है. वर्सेस जब हम प्रोग्रामिंग कर रहे हैं देन वी आर मोर इंटरेस्टेड इन हमारा कोड कैसे रन कर रहा है. हमें सिर्फ आउटपुट से मतलब नहीं है. um, okay, so let's start with the first pathway. It's introduction to Kotlin. You will learn the fundamentals of how to build Android.
We are from the Android team at Google, and we'll be your instructors for this course. I'm Dan.
I'm Kat, and we'll be here guiding you throughout your journey.
And I'm Megan. We'll do our best to explain things clearly with step-by-step instructions.
It's hard to imagine life without our phones.
And in this course, you're going to have a chance to learn how to build an app that runs on one of these. It honestly feels like a superpower to know how to build an app. To take something that's an idea in your head and put it on your phone.
And it's not just your phone.
There are over 2.5 billion Android devices in the world.
That's phones, tablets, TVs, watches, and even cars.
Imagine how cool it would be to make an app that your friends can use.
The apps that you use on your phone are often quite complex. They have whole companies and teams of engineers working on them. And all those engineers had to start at the beginning.
So in this course, we're going to focus on building a series of basic Android apps that can run on a phone.
The course is split up into units. Each unit is made up of several pathways. Pathways are composed of videos, code labs, and quizzes. And, drum roll please, you'll earn badges along the way.
You'll also be building up your developer profile, which you can use to show the skills you've gained throughout this course.
By learning the fundamentals of programming and the core concepts in Android, you will have a solid foundation to build off of.
You'll learn how to use Android Studio, the tool we use to write our code.
And you'll be learning Kotlin, the recommended programming language for developing Android apps. At its core, a programming language is used to tell a computer what you want it to do. It's similar to learning a foreign language, but instead of speaking to people from another country, we're communicating with the computer.
We'll get into more details of learning Kotlin later, but first let's talk about what you need to start this course.
To get started, you need a computer and an internet connection so you can download Android Studio. You don't need any prior programming experience, but we do require that you have basic computer and math skills. Knowing basic math is useful when you are programming because of the problem-solving skills involved.
It's also helpful to have an Android device, phone or tablet, to test your app on. If you don't have one, that's okay. We'll show you how to simulate an Android device on your computer with something called an emulator. It's also great to be familiar with using Android apps. If you haven't used Android before, you'll learn this along the way.
Above all, the most important requirement is your motivation and willingness to learn. It's going to be a challenging but rewarding process if
I get a job as an Android developer after this course? Well, the answer is not quite. We're going to prepare you with the basics, and there are more advanced classes you can take and more practice you should do on your own to pursue the career path of a developer.
Now, you might be asking, how long will the course take? That really depends on how much you already know and how much time you can invest in learning the material. Anywhere from a few weeks to a few months is realistic.
No matter where you come from, this journey will be challenging, interesting, and we hope also fun.
by the end, you will have built a collection of apps that will show you a glimpse of what's possible with Android.
We are super excited.
Super excited!
We're super excited that you've decided to join us, and we welcome you to this course.
Welcome!
Okay, so what we learned abhi tak was that there is something called an emulator. In case you do not have a physical device with you, it's completely okay. हम सिमुलेट कर सकते हैं एंड्रॉइड डिवाइस को अपने कंप्यूटर पे एंड इट्स कॉल्ड एन एमुलेटर.
Welcome to Unit 1, the beginning of your amazing journey.
In this unit, you will learn important concepts in Kotlin and Android development to get you set up for success.
This unit is split up into 4 pathways.
In the first pathway, we will dive right into learning some basics in a programming language called Kotlin.
Kotlin is a modern programming language. It's efficient to write and it's features that help prevent mistakes in your code.
It's rapidly becoming one of the most loved programming languages in the world, and we at Google recommend it for building Android apps.
In the second pathway, we'll help you set up your computer. We will teach you how to use the same tools that professional Android developers use to build their apps. It's called Android Studio, and you'll be installing that on your computer. Once it's set up, we'll walk you through how to create and run your first Android app. This is always a magical milestone.
In the third pathway, we'll make a birthday card app. You'll get to customize the app for someone special in your life and surprise them with it.
In the fourth pathway, we'll learn how to make an app that has an on-screen button that can be clicked. You'll write Kotlin code for how the app will behave when the user taps the button.
This will unlock infinite possibilities for the types of apps you can create.
Don't worry, we know it's a lot, but we'll be guiding you through the pathways, and we're confident that you can do this.
It's normal to feel overwhelmed with all this new information, so take it bit by bit. It takes time to learn and digest the material.
With each app you create, you will gain more confidence in the skills you are building.
Before we begin, let's double check that you have everything you'll need. You'll need a computer with internet access that you can install Android Studio on. Make sure that your computer meets the requirements linked below.
To see your app in action, it's helpful to have an Android device and a USB cable to connect it to your computer, but it's definitely not required.
Let's get started.
Okay. So let's write the first program. So okay, so you know what we'll be building? We'll be building a birthday card app later. With this we'll just write a very minimal Kotlin program and it will just display a message. तो अभी हम सीधे एंड्रॉइड स्टूडियो पे नहीं जाएंगे. We'll use Kotlin Playground. It's just a browser-based programming tool. जैसे कोड एडिटर्स आते हैं C++ से कोई भी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज अगर किसी ने की होगी तो ऑनलाइन कंपाइलर्स वगैरह आते हैं. So it's not a compiler. It's just it's a web-based tool. Okay. So अभी तक इसने ये कोड हमें by default दिया है. Say we run it, and it prints a hello world. Now Kotlin में fun, this is called a function. So main is a necessary function, and function का keyword is in short fun, and println is print in next line. Okay. Say हमें hello world की जगह happy birthday print करवाना है. Okay. अगर हमें पेपर पे लिखना होता तो इट्स वेरी सिंपल, हम उसको बस हटा के हैप्पी बर्थडे लिख देते. बट कंप्यूटर अज्यूम नहीं करता है कुछ भी. कंप्यूटर को हर चीज़ प्रिसाइजली इंस्ट्रक्ट करनी पड़ती है. सो यहाँ पे लेट्स गो बिट बाय बिट. This fun is function. Its function is a section of a program that performs a specific task. मेन किसी भी कोड को चलाने के लिए नेसेसरी है. Like every program that runs needs a main function, and all code is encapsulated inside the main. So since main is also a function, we write fun before main, then uh, curly brackets के अंदर we write the code block that we want to execute. Println is print in next line, and जो text हमें enclose करना है, text needs to be in double quotes. So now we just want कि hello world की जगह happy birthday print हो जाए. And it's done. Say हमें सिर्फ एक लाइन प्रिंट नहीं करवानी है. We want to print different messages, but it has to be inside the same main function. So print करने के बहुत सारे तरीके हैं. println basically prints a line of text. Then अगर हम say we just want to see, यहाँ पे डबल कोट्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इसने println झांसी लिखा, डबल कोट्स नहीं डाले, so that's an error. You can't do that. Okay, so इसको रन करते हैं. And it prints all the lines that we wanted. Okay, so to summarize, जिस पे अभी हम काम कर रहे हैं, it's an interactive code editor. It's web based. इस पे हम practice करेंगे before going on to Android Studios. जितने भी Kotlin programs हैं, they need to have a main function to run. Println statement is used to print a line of text. जो भी text हमें print करवाना है, it has to be inside double quotes. Println को ही repeat करना है if you want to print multiple lines of text. And errors होते हैं, they are marked in red. Okay, so there are also ways कि हमें there is another way to print your text. Say हमें println में ही एक line है जिसको हमें break के साथ print करवाना है. So we use \n. यहाँ पे I'll just print this line and you'll see. So if I print this, जहाँ पे मेरा slash, oh sorry, जहाँ मेरा \n है वहाँ पे मेरी लाइन ब्रेक हो जाएगी, एंड उसके आगे का जो भी टेक्स्ट है would be next line. ब्रेक के पहले स्पेस आ रहा है बिकॉज बैकस्लैश n के आगे जो भी है वुड बी नेक्स्ट लाइन. से इफ आई डू लाइक दिस तो वो बिना स्पेस के आ जाएगा. Okay, now let's create birthday message. Um, ये हम अभी कर चुके हैं. We are just printing multiple lines of text. हम println में कुछ भी डाल सकते हैं, anything we want. However, some things are not allowed. Comment करने के लिए there are two ways to comment. Second way हम बाद में आएंगे. One way to comment इसने यहीं पे दिया हुआ है. We use backslash, double backslash, and उसके आगे जो भी होगा, all of that is considered as comment. And वो print नहीं होगा. It's just for us to see. In case we want to go back to our text and to our code and we want to see कि हमने क्या किया है, and we just want to revisit our code, उसके लिए we use comments. It won't be shown on the output screen. यहाँ पे इसने जो भी कमेंट किया है इट वोंट बी डिस्प्लेड. सिर्फ प्रिंट एलियन के अंदर की चीजें डिस्प्ले होंगी. हाँ, सो यहाँ पे एक कोड है val age 5. नाउ val इज इट्स अ स्पेशल कीवर्ड. जो भी कीवर्ड्स होते हैं हमारे उनको हम नॉर्मल टेक्स्ट की तरह नहीं यूज कर सकते हैं. जैसे fun, इट स्पेसिफिकली स्टैंड्स फॉर फंक्शन. इट्स अ कीवर्ड. val एक वेरिएबल. val is basically the keyword for वेरिएबल. एज हमारे वेरिएबल का नाम है. val से हमने स्पेसिफाई कर दिया कि वेरिएबल है, एज उसका नाम है, एंड इक्वल टू के आगे जो वैल्यू है वो एज को असाइन कर देगा. ये लाइन ऑफ कोड. एंड एन इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग इज जो भी वेरिएबल हम val से डिक्लेयर करेंगे वो हम पूरे कोड में एक ही बार सेट कर सकते हैं. से हमने val एज इक्वल टू 5 कर दिया तो हर जगह एज की वैल्यू 5 होगी. हम उसकी वैल्यू बाद में चेंज नहीं कर सकते हैं. और अगर हमें से चेंजेबल वेरिएबल चाहिए, val फिक्स्ड हो गया. से वी वांट अ चेंजेबल वेरिएबल जिसको हम लेटर चेंज करना चाहते हैं, एडिट करना चाहते हैं, तो हम var लिखेंगे इंस्टेड ऑफ val. इट्स अ कीवर्ड फॉर वेरिएबल ओनली. एक there is something called string notation. Now string notation is dollar sign and curly brackets के अंदर whatever variable we want. यहाँ पे इसने print ln you are already. So print ln is print line then double quote. So ये double quote के आगे print कर रहा है you are already. Then it encounters a string notation. Dollar age would mean कि जो भी age की value, it's not going to print age. It's going to print the value जो इस variable age में है. Okay. ये बंदा तो बहुत ही बुरा है. So he is 1825. सिर्फ एज नहीं, हम और भी चीजें डिफाइन कर सकते हैं. val नेम. However, अगर टेक्स्ट है तो वो डबल कोट में आएगा. एंड सिंस 5 वाज जस्ट अ नंबर, इट्स नॉट अ टेक्स्ट, तो वो डबल कोट्स में नहीं आएगा. हियर इसने स्ट्रिंग नोटेशन यूज करी है. यहाँ पे इस सेंटेंस में इसने 2 बार स्ट्रिंग नोटेशन यूज करी है. इंस्टेड ऑफ ये हम इसलिए यूज करें कि से बाद में वी वांट टू डू अ यूजर इनपुट थिंग जहाँ पे हमें पहले से नहीं स्पेसिफाई किया है. तो वहाँ पे हम बस हमें नहीं पता कि यूजर क्या डालने वाला है. हम बस वेरिएबल की वैल्यू डाल देंगे. जो भी वैल्यू उसके पास आएगी वो प्रिंट कर देगा. बट वो बाद में आएगा. ओके, so it's printing a birthday card banner. Okay, सो ये तो बहुत छोटे फंक्शन थे प्रिंट वाले। बाद में हम इससे बड़े फंक्शंस पे आएँगे। तो अगर जैसे ये कोड है नाउ फन फंक्शन मेन एंड इसने एक फंक्शन को कॉल किया है प्रिंट बॉर्डर। मेन के अंदर एक फंक्शन कॉल हुआ है प्रिंट बॉर्डर। अब हम 2 चीज़ें कर सकते हैं, या तो हम इनलाइन उस प्रिंट बॉर्डर, या तो मैं इधर आई कुड डू दिस कि मैं यहीं पे अपना कोड लिख देती प्रिंट बॉर्डर का, दैट वुड बी इनलाइनिंग। हाउएवर मुझे ये नहीं करना है क्योंकि मुझे यहाँ पे तो कोड बहुत छोटा है, 1 सेंटेंस का। बट अगर कोड मेरा लंबा होता, बहुत अ, थोड़ा ज़्यादा बड़ा ब्लॉक होता, तो मैं नहीं चाहती कि मेरे कोड में अ, भर जाए और उसको कॉम्प्लेक्स करे। सो इंस्टेड मैं बस फंक्शन को कॉल करूँगी और मैं फंक्शन को में बाद में डिफाइन कर लूँगी। सो यहाँ इसने बस कॉल किया, देन इसने प्रिंट किया और फिर इसने फिर से प्रिंट फंक्शन को कॉल किया। फंक्शन को मैंने बाद में एक डिफाइन कर दिया। सो ये सेम भी वर्क करेगा। अगर मैं ऐसे करूँगी तब भी चलेगा, और से मैं इस पूरे कोड को सीधा डाल देती हूँ। से नहीं चाहिए आपको ऐसे। अम, मेरी स्क्रीन नहीं दिख रही। ओके, हम इनलाइनिंग वाली चीज़ तो बाद में आएँगे। आई कांट रियलाइज़ कि अभी एरर क्यों आ रहा है। बट बेसिकली देयर आर जस्ट 2 वेज़। एक इनलाइनिंग जो हम अंदर डिफाइन कर देते हैं, एंड द अदर इज़ कि इसने बाहर डिफाइन किया है। ओके। नाउ देयर इज़ अ फंक्शन कॉल्ड रिपीट। देयर इज़ अ रिपीट स्टेटमेंट। हम ये कर सकते हैं कि प्रिंट बॉर्डर में इंस्टेड ऑफ हम बड़ा-सा टेक्स्ट लिखें, हम एक रिपीट स्टेटमेंट कॉल करेंगे। रिपीट स्टेटमेंट उस अ, जित रिपीट स्टेटमेंट के अंदर हम जो भी वैल्यू डालेंगे, वो उतने नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स उस फंक्शन के नीचे जो भी है, वो प्रिंट करेगा। से रिपीट 23, सो 23 टाइम्स हम रिपीट इज़ आल्सो फंक्शन, उसके अंदर हमने एक वैल्यू डाल दी 23, which means print this 23 times, repeat this 23 times, और जो भी इस कोड के अंदर है print equal to, so now equal to को 23 टाइम्स प्रिंट करेगा। ये स्टेटमेंट एक लूप है बिकॉज़ हम इसको बार-बार रिपीट कर रहे हैं और हम लूप कर रहे हैं ओवर द सेम कोड। ओके, तो यहाँ पे हमने उस बड़े से इक्वल टू की जगह हमने अपने कोड को और शॉर्ट कर दिया और सिंपल कर दिया कि रिपीट 23 टाइम्स एंड प्रिंट इक्वल टू। अ, यहाँ पे ये बर्थडे और बड़ा बर्थडे केक प्रिंट कर रहा है। तो अम, अगर हम एक रिपीट सो देयर इज़ अ कॉन्सेप्ट कॉल्ड नेस्टेड लूप, व्हिच इज़ अगर हम एक फंक्शन के अंदर ही सेम फंक्शन कॉल करते हैं, देन इट्स कॉल्ड अ नेस्टेड लूप। सो हम नीचे से कोड पे जाते हैं। ऑल ऑफ दिस इज़ कमेंट्स, ये हमें नहीं चाहिए। हमने एक फंक्शन मेन किया जिसकी वैल हमने एज कर दिया 24, ये फिक्स्ड है हमारे लिए। वैल देयर्स 5, हमें 5 लेवल केक चाहिए। एज इज़ 24 एंड गो टू कोड। सो Now we have a function which is print cake candles. Now print cake candles के अंदर इसने ब्रैकेट्स के अंदर we need to specify कि जो हमारा फंक्शन है वो किस तरह का वैल्यू रिटर्न कर रहा है, किस तरह का वैल्यू ले रहा है. सो ये एज ले रहा है एंड एज इन टाइप है. सो हमने प्रिंट करवाया सिंगल स्पेस ब्लैंक है, सो सिंगल स्पेस होगा. देन हमें रिपीट करवाना है एज, और एज विच अगर से हमारी एज 5 है तो 5 टाइम्स कॉमा चाहिए उसे. देन प्रिंट एलन, तो एक एम्प्टी लाइन प्रिंट कर देगा वो. देन यू गो टू द नेक्स्ट प्रिंट, तो यहाँ पे फिर एक ब्लैंक है. देन नेक्स्ट यू गो टू रिपीट एज. सो एज अगर 5 है तो 5 टाइम्स वो ये वाला की प्रिंट कर देगा. देन प्रिंट एलन इज प्रिंट अनदर एम्प्टी लाइन. ये हमारे केक का टॉप था, केक यहाँ पर है. सो केक पे कितनी कैंडल्स है वो उतने एज का इंसान है, राइट. नाउ हमें केक का बॉटम चाहिए. तो हमारे फंक्शन है प्रिंट केक बॉटम. यहाँ पे ये दो आर्ग्यूमेंट्स ले रहा है. वन इज एज, द अदर इज लेयर्स. एज इन टाइप का है और लेयर्स भी इन टाइप का है, ये हमें स्पेसिफाई करना है. देन द फंक्शन बेसिकली सेज रिपीट लेयर्स. कितनी लेयर्स डाली है वो हमारे फंक्शन वो हमें यहाँ से मिल जाएगा. से 5 है, सो 5 times you need to repeat this. And repeat what exactly? Repeat, then this is a nested loop. हम repeat के अंदर एक और repeat डाल रहे हैं. So repeat 5 times and repeat age plus 2. हम अभी के लिए values ले लेते हैं. So repeat is 5, layers is 5 and age is 2. तो 5 layers तक repeat होना चाहिए. Age is 2, then 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2 4 बार repeat होना चाहिए at the rate. Now basically एक लाइन में 4 टाइम्स एट द रेट आएगा और ये एक लाइन 5 टाइम्स प्रिंट होगी. हम इसको चला के देखते हैं. सो इतना सारा नहीं चाहिए, हम छोटा कर देते हैं. उससे इंसान 7 इयर्स का है एंड उसे 3 लेयर का केक चाहिए. So now we have 3 layers and we have 7 candles here. This is what I was explaining before. Key 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry. Okay, so 7 plus 9. यहाँ पे repeat layers which is sorry, लिख ही लेती हूँ. Page is 7 and layers is 3. 7 8 के लिए उसने 7 टाइम्स कॉमा प्रिंट किया, 7 टाइम्स कैंडल का स्टिक प्रिंट किया. देन इक्वल टू 3 लेयर्स होंगी एंड जो उसकी एज है इट इज 7. 7 plus 2 would be 9. So 9 times at the rate is printed in 3 layers. अगर किसी के ब्राउजर में प्रॉब्लम आ रही हो, यू कैन जस्ट रीलोड योर पेज. टू समराइज, हम डॉलर एंड कर्ली साइंस यूज करते हैं टू सराउंड द वेरिएबल्स. और जो भी हम वेरिएबल्स डाल रहे हैं इन सॉरी डॉलर एंड कर्ली साइंस हम यूज करते हैं. इट्स स्ट्रिंग नोटेशन. हम इसमें बेसिकली कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं जो भी वेरिएबल हमने डाला है उसकी वैल्यू, और इसको हम प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट के बीच में डाल सकते हैं. सो फॉर एग्जांपल डॉलर एज, यहाँ पे एज मेरा एक वेरिएबल है और प्रिंट ये एज की वैल्यू करेगा. देन वी कैन क्रिएट अ वेरिएबल यूजिंग द वैल कीवर्ड एंड उसका नेम. अगर एक बार वैल सेट कर दिया तो वो चेंज नहीं हो सकता है. एंड असाइन करते हैं इक्वल टू यूज करके. अ स्ट्रिंग A string is when whatever text you're writing, it is surrounded by double quotes. Int is a data type, and it can be a whole positive or negative numbers. Then हम एक से ज़्यादा आर्ग्यूमेंट्स पास कर सकते हैं इन अ फंक्शन. नाउ one thing I missed here. So you can see कि यहाँ पे fun ये 2 आर्ग्यूमेंट्स ले रहा है और ये 2 आर्ग्यूमेंट्स मैंने यहाँ पे डिफाइन करी हैं. नाउ जब मैं फंक्शन को कॉल कर रही हूँ, सो वन जो हमने पीछे देखा था प्रिंट बॉर्डर, उसमें कोई आर्ग्यूमेंट्स नहीं ले रहा था वो ब्रैकेट के अंदर. तो हम सिंपल यहाँ पे सीधा प्रिंट बॉर्डर ऐसे लिख देते थे क्योंकि कोई आर्ग्यूमेंट नहीं थी. यहाँ पे हमने जो 2 फंक्शन लिए हैं, प्रिंट केक कैंडल, 3 फंक्शन कैंडल्स, केक टॉप, केक बॉटम, ये सारे आर्ग्यूमेंट्स ले रहे हैं. तो उन आर्ग्यूमेंट्स के अंदर हमें वैल्यू पास करवानी पड़ेगी. प्रिंट केक कैंडल्स, गो टू फंक्शन ऑफ प्रिंट केक कैंडल्स. यहाँ पे ये एक आर्ग्यूमेंट ले रहा है एज व्हिच इज ऑफ int टाइप. तो जब मैं इस फंक्शन को कॉल करूँगी तो मुझे यहाँ पे इसकी वैल्यू देनी पड़ेगी, ये पैरामीटर मुझे पास करना पड़ेगा. और हम एक से ज़्यादा पास कर सकते हैं. इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी कि एक बार में हम एक ही पास करें. Repeat statement is used to repeat a set of instructions several times. Loop is an instruction to repeat an instruction to a loop is an instruction to repeat instructions multiple times. And repeat जो statement है, जो function है, it's an example of a loop. हम nested loops use कर सकते हैं, which is calling a function inside a function. Okay, so now this is the first quiz. Although मैंने पहले 3 एक्टिविटीज समझा दी हैं, and if you still feel that you need to, and you probably will need to go back and you want to revise it, you want to go through some of the points that on your own, so you can go back to them. Otherwise you need to complete this quiz in order to get the badge and complete the pathway. जब आप ये सारे यूनिट्स जो ऊपर मैंने 3 एक्टिविटीज करवाई हैं, इनफैक्ट यू शुड गो एंड ओपन देम टू. एज यू सॉ कि उसमें एक टिक आ रहा था. So you need to open them at least once, and if you are opening, go through them. And last में you need to do this quiz on your own. अभी मैं करवा रही हूँ, but you need to also do this on your own so that you get the badge, that you have completed the pathway. Okay, so यहाँ पे हम क्या करेंगे? There are 6 questions, and for each question, I'll give 15 seconds. And 15 seconds में you can type your answers in the chat box. 15 seconds बाद I will tell you the answer. So we can do this 2 way. Let's do it. अभी स्क्रीन पे 2 क्वेश्चंस दिख रहे हैं, राइट? सो इन 2 क्वेश्चन के आंसर 1 एंड ऑप्शन, 2 एंड ऑप्शन करके यू कैन राइट इन द चैट बॉक्स. यू हैव 15 सेकंड्स. उसके बाद आई विल टेल यू द आंसर. Okay. So now first question would be C and second would be A. यहाँ पे I saw somebody saying B for first. That would be wrong because program is a defined set of instructions. Lekin it's not necessary that it tells your computer to print a happy birthday. It's just a series of instruction जो कि whatever task we want, वो सारे task complete करेगा. So it's C. And then second is function का keyword is fun. Let's go to the third one. And you can write your answers. You should think carefully about this question because इसमें checkbox है, it's not just one. And थोड़ा ध्यान से पढ़ना है question. Okay, so third would be you need a main function. Kotlin के हर program के लिए you need a main function. Then you need curly braces around the instruction. You also need a call to print statement, obviously. And you need a piece of text surrounded by quotation mark. Now the text could be empty or whatever, but अगर वो print कर रहा है, then um, it should have quotation marks. The text should have quotation marks. This page when you open the activities, I think first or second activity में, there's the link for Kotlin Playground. Okay, so fourth one. This is very easy. Okay, so fourth is second option. यहाँ पे दो print agent statements हैं. It's going to print two of them. Let's go to fifth question. Okay, fourth हो गया. Fifth आ जाओ. Okay, yes, fifth is C. क्योंकि एक number है, it's a age val layers. We don't need, it's not a text. We don't need quotation marks around it. Let's go to sixth one. No, fifth would not be D. Leave the code as is. We can leave it, but we want that it print a 6-layer cake and someone's fourth birthday, so we can't leave it as is. Go to sixth. Okay, so yes, 6 would be E. And not C or B because C is 40 is in text, is in quotation. That's not possible. That way, age is an int type. It's not a string type यहाँ पे. So if you do it in quotation mark, error आ जाएगा. and B. So England यहाँ पे बिना quotation के है, and it's a string type. Okay. So we have done the first pathway, and let's create our first Android app.
This course will be using Android Studio on our computer to help us create our Android app. Android Studio is what's known as an IDE, or Integrated Development Environment.
If this is your first time working with an IDE, you can think of it as being like a workshop with a lot of tools. These tools help you write your code and lay out how your app will look on the screen. It shows you a real-time preview of what your design will look like as you create each screen.
And similar to how Google Docs checks your spelling, Android Studio checks for errors in your code as you type. It also gives you suggestions to help you code faster.
And of course, as you create your app, you'll want to see it in action. Android Studio builds and runs your app, either on an actual Android device or on something called an emulator, a tool that allows your computer to simulate an Android device.
Android Studio is an IDE because it integrates multiple developer tools together, doing a lot of the heavy lifting for us. Without it, the development process would be much longer and it would be easier to make all sorts of mistakes.
As you create apps in this course, you'll learn how to use Android Studio and get plenty of practice with it. If you're curious, take a look at the linked Android Studio documentation.
Let's go write apps!
Okay, let's go write apps. Okay, so यहाँ पे जिन लोगों को प्रॉब्लम आई थी इन डाउनलोडिंग और एंड्रॉइड स्टूडियो, we'll do that. For that, अभी के वीडियो में one important thing. So Android Studio is an IDE, which is an integrated development environment. And there are three important points that they said. One, it checks for errors as you type. Secondly, it gives a live preview of whatever you are coding on the screen, which is essential because it helps in coding. And then third, it helps you code faster because it gives you suggestions as you type. Okay. Android Studio here, it uses IntelliJ IDEA as its foundation, and जितने भी plugins होते हैं Android plugins, they come pre-installed in Android Studio. Okay. Okay, so यहाँ पे जो लोग भी Mac OS से कर रहे हैं, you should go to select your Apple menu, and about this Mac, I don't have a Mac, so I can't show this to you, but you can refer to this activity later. I have a Windows, so I'll go to that. Go to settings, then system. We want okay. So I have a Windows 10, and you can check yours like this. And my RAM is should be here, but my okay, sorry. Yeah, I have 8 GB installed RAM, so that works for me. And it's a 64-bit operating system. I had the storage, so I installed Android Studio. You can check your storage from settings. And ये मैं ऑलरेडी बता चुकी हूँ. I showed you in the previous session how to download Android Studios. अगर वहाँ से भी किसी को नहीं समझ आ रहा था, so you can open this unit activity. यहाँ पे लिंक गिवन है. And इसमें सारी this I show इसमें कुछ नहीं करना है. You just have to I have read and agreed and I agree with the terms and conditions, and you just go next. Here this ये मैंने दिखाया था उसमें. You just go to next and accept all steps, finish, and it's done. डिटेल में अगर किसी को देखना है तो इस एक्टिविटी में रेफर कर लेना. ओके, सो यहाँ पे हम हैप्पी बर्थडे ऐप बनाएंगे. ओके, सो एंड्रॉइड स्टूडियो हमें बहुत सारी एक्टिविटीज देता है. दैट्स it basically gives not activities, I'm sorry, it gives us project templates. Let's go to new project. Here, see ये जो मुझे बहुत सारी options दिखा रहा है. Basic activity, all of these are basically project templates. Project templates हमें इसलिए चाहिए because they have all the necessary parts. We don't need to add. जिस पे it has so many options. हमें जिस भी तरह का ऐप बनाना है, it will just give us those options. It already has them. And its only purpose is to help us get started faster, and it saves us a lot of work. Let's go with empty activity for now. यहाँ पे it's और किसी के स्क्रीन में मेरे में खुला हुआ था. Say you get it like this. You go to start a new Android Studio project, and you will get the screen. Choose an empty activity from here. It's the simplest template that can be used, and it has a single screen, and it has a by default message saying hello world. So we name their app. Name में हम जो भी डालेंगे. अच्छा ये मैं So name में हम जो भी डालेंगे, that's the name of our app. Package जो होता है, it's the name used by Android system to uniquely identify our app. इसमें हमें कुछ डालना नहीं है. ये by default provide होता है. Save location जहाँ पे हम सारी project की location होंगी. Language is जिस programming language में हम अपने project को बनाना चाहते हैं. We need to make sure it's Kotlin, and यहाँ पे बहुत लोगों का Java आ रहा होगा. Make sure it's Kotlin. And minimum SDK, it indicates जो minimum version of Android हमारा जिस पे हमारा ऐप रन हो सकता है. हम सेलेक्ट करेंगे Android 4.4 KitKat. And it works on 99.4 devices. ये तुम किसी भी चेक कर सकते हो. This works on 99.8. Say this works on 97.3. Let's go with this. Uh, okay, so अभी मुझे स्क्रीन दिखेगी. I'll go along explaining it. Still building. यहाँ से दिखा देती हूँ. You will get this. जो मेरा भी लोड हो रहा है. यहाँ पे this is our project window. यहाँ पे जो हमारे फाइल्स और फोल्डर्स है प्रोजेक्ट के वो डिस्प्ले होंगे. ये हमारे एडिटिंग विंडो है. सेकंड वन, इसमें हम अपने कोड को एडिट कर सकते हैं, लिख सकते हैं. थर्ड वन, ये व्हाट्स न्यू विंडो है. इसमें टिप्स वगैरह आते रहते हैं. ओके, यहाँ पे हम बिफोर गोइंग ऑन टू एन एक्चुअल फिजिकल डिवाइस, हम अपने फोन पे भी रन करेंगे, बट फर्स्ट वी स्टार्ट विद एन एम्यूलेटर. An emulator is an Android virtual device or an AVD. Okay. AVD manager यूज करेंगे हम to create an emulator. It's a software version of a mobile phone, and it could be anything. It could be a phone or a tablet. जिस भी तरह का Android system you want, you can uh, you can create that. What is I think I'll uh, 7. No, 7. I'll try to finish up by 7:58. अभी हमें 1 घंटा ही हुआ है. I'm not sure. I'm not sure 1.4 GB. You need to check if your system is compatible and then get it down to 8 GB. Okay, so यहाँ से we'll go to our AVD manager. ये मेरे existing device में, we want a new device. Let's say create a virtual device. Now we have all these options. We have all these categories. अभी हमें इतना tablet, TV नहीं चाहिए. We just want a phone. We can choose any we want. I will go with say this. Then see यहाँ पे you can see a lot of options available. There are a lot of options available. Now the recommended that you should go with is Q. Now you'll notice कि Q के आगे डाउनलोड नहीं आ रहा है, बाकी सब के आगे आ रहा है. R के आगे भी नहीं आ रहा है. That was by default. Q के आगे नहीं आ रहे तो क्योंकि मैं डाउनलोड कर चुकी हूँ, but you will get a download. That's because जो image है that has not been downloaded. So अगर हमें say you want to use Pi or Oreo, you need to download the image first, then you will be able to use it, and you should go with Q. We can name it say go with that. It's portrait, and here you can see it's a new device. This is an emulator. Whatever we'll run on the emulator. Okay, let's run it. Now there are two ways to run. One is I can go here from this drop down and select and run my app. There's one more way. I'll tell you that till it opens. The second way is you can just go to run and select device. यहाँ पे होगा run. You go to select device and यहाँ से you can choose your new device. And it's building. So my device is created. It's starting. It takes time and my system is also a little heavy. We'll get a notification. Let's move on. So यहाँ पे you can see जो हमारी फाइल्स है वो दो वे में ऑर्गेनाइज सकते हैं. सो वन वे वुड बी एक ऐसे दिख रहा होगा. दिस इज this is useful when we are working or writing code on our project. Then there's another way which would be like this. And ये दोनों हम change कर सकते हैं यहाँ से. So this is one way and we don't want it like that. Yeah, and this is the other way. So to summarize, to create a new project, we go to Android Studios and there would be an option, start a new Android Studio project. We name it, we choose our template and then we fill in the details. If you want to create a virtual device, we go to Android Virtual Device Manager, AVD Manager from tools, and then we use it to create or maybe select a hardware device that you already have and its system image. And then to run it, we can just go to the toolbar drop down menu on the top and then run it. Everything that we want is, I think we are ready for the quiz that will be needed. So let's go first 2 questions. It's okay. अगर अभी it was just loading, तो you can go back to the recording. The first two. So the second one also. 1A, yes, integrated development environment. Okay, so yes, second is A, B, and C. It helps prevent our typos. It gives you that error message, and it comes with a virtual device because we just created an emulator. Then it gives you real-time preview of how your app will look. What does minimum SDK refer to in an Android Studio project? Yeah. Okay, so minimum SDK is the minimum version of Android that you can run your app on. What is the purpose of using a virtual device or an emulator in Android Studio? Fourth is not D and it's not B. Fourth would be C. It is to test your app on a device without having a physical device. And in Android Studio, what is a project template good for? Project template was the one where it was empty activity and various kinds of activities. Okay, so fifth is B. It makes getting started on building a new app faster. Then it is also C. It provides a structure that follows best practices. As you saw, it gives a structure to whatever activity we want. Then it's this option, which is it makes building a new app less error prone by pre-populating the project with some app code. So this was an empty activity, तो इसमें कोई code नहीं था. Say you go for a login activity, तो उसमें already code provide कर देगा, and there are chances that uh, you make less error because it's already done the work for you. It's given the code, so there are less chances of making an error in that part. Now, how do you create a new project in Android Studios? Okay. Sixth is E. Yes, both B and C are correct ways. If you are already on a project, like I was, you go to File, New Project. And if it's opening for the first time, you go to Welcome to Android Studio and start a new Android project. Okay, so we have done two pathways. हम आज जहाँ तक भी करते हैं, I would suggest that तुम लोग वहाँ तक at least खत्म कर लो आज, because otherwise it would just keep piling on and आगे सबके एग्जाम्स आ रहे हैं, so it's better if you do it on the same day, at least जितने पास तक we cover in the session.
The first step in creating an app is to have an amazing idea.
Amazing idea. Let's create an app that celebrates my favorite holiday of the year, my birthday.
Okay. Now, before we can go and build an app, we need to know what goes into it.
Just like when you cook a meal, you need to think about ingredients and how you want to put them all together.
In this video, we'll talk about what makes a great app and plan for what will go into our app.
You'll sketch out your own awesome birthday card app, which you'll build by the end of this pathway.
So how do we get started?
Before we start drawing up this fabulous birthday card app, let's take a step back and think about what makes a great app. Think about an app you really love using. What about it you love?
Well, it's probably really effective. It's really clear about what you need to do. The app is also likely to be efficient. There aren't any unnecessary steps in getting from what you want to accomplish to having it done. I bet your favorite app is beautiful. This is subjective, but to me, that means that the app has a simple and organized layout. And the app is probably also accessible. It's designed in a way that makes it easy for you to use.
So there you have it. That's the ultimate goal, the ride into the sunset.
Before you worry about your app,
मेरा system hang कर रहा है. Okay, so this is our virtual device. इसको अभी के लिए बंद कर देते हैं. I think this is what is making my system hang.
app being effective, efficient, beautiful, and accessible, you have to decide what job needs to be accomplished. You don't need any programming for this part. Take a moment and think about a birthday card you received. What was cool about it?
They're silly. They're interactive. They have fun pictures. They sing songs.
Feel free to pause this video and write down your own ideas. Don't worry, we'll still be here.
Okay, so what are your card app? Honestly, I can't tell you what you think is special. However, there are some common things that all birthday cards have in common.
A happy birthday message,
A greeting with the name of the person,
maybe their age,
and you want to tell them who the card is from and sign it with your name.
So with that in mind, here's the birthday card app that we'll be building together in this pathway.
It has a large image and text laid out on the screen.
Think about how you can customize this for someone in your life.
What image would you use? What message would you write?
Sketch your app out. Draw out different ideas on how your card might look.
Get creative and use your imagination.
Okay. All right. So we already have this app, right? Birthday app. We did all of this. We had an empty activity जिसमें hello world था. So let's next is user interface. Now user interface एक ऐप का वो होता है जो हम स्क्रीन पे देखते हैं, जैसे टेक्स्ट, इमेजेस, बटन्स, बहुत सारे एलिमेंट्स हैं. All of that we see on that screen, all of these elements, these are user interface, and they basically show they it's how the app shows things to the user, and it's also how the user interacts with the app. Each of these elements, जितने भी elements मैंने बोले, text, images, buttons, इन सबको हम view बोलते हैं, and almost everything on your screen is a view. So views are interactive, like button is clickable or an input field is editable. हम यहाँ पे दो व्यू लेंगे. One would be displaying a text and the other would be an image, but we'll get to that later. Now जिस व्यू में जिस text display होता है, it's called a text view. It's kind of a view. It's a kind of view, and it's used for displaying text. So um, now views are interconnected. So say you have a text, say you have an image. So both of them are interacting with each other. क्योंकि अगर मुझे अपना text और image मैंने जिस भी जगह पे place किया है, they are interconnected, they are interacting with each other ताकि वो अपनी placement पे रहें. We can say कि जो हमारा text है वो image के bottom में है या image के left में है. That's how they're all interconnected. जो one kind of view group is our constraint layout, and it helps कि जितने भी views जितने भी views हम अपने ऐप की स्क्रीन पे लगा रहे हैं, say we have a text and an image, we want कि उनको हम ढंग से arrange कर पाए. So इसमें help करता है constraint layout. It's kind of a view group. So all of this, it's a layout editor. Now this is called, this is activity underscore main. जो हमारी main activity है, ये उसका ये उसका वो वाला पार्ट है जो हमें visually help करता है. Like it's not coding, it's a layout editor, and इस layout editor में बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. Say first, यहाँ पे हमारा palette है. इस palette में बहुत सारी views given है, like text view, but elements है, button, image view, recycle view, whatever we want, हम यहाँ से उठा के सीधा अपनी स्क्रीन पर ड्रैग कर सकते हैं. अभी नहीं चाहिए हमें. But so this palette has all the elements, all the views available to us, जो हम ट्रैक करके अपने ऐप पे डाल सकते हैं. Then this is the component tree. Component tree is a representation of जितने भी apps हमने currently अपनी स्क्रीन पे deploy कर रखे हैं, वो सारे इस component tree के अंदर आते हैं. अभी सिर्फ एक text box है, so it's just showing a text view. Then these two, this is called the design. ये दो हमारे view करने के तरीके हैं of ये हमारी output screens है basically. So this is a design. This shows कि हमारा app actually कैसे दिखेगा, and this one is a blueprint of the app. It's so this one here, it's attributes, and जो भी हम use करेंगे या हम use कर रहे हैं उसके से I select hello world, उसके जो भी attributes हैं ये suddenly change हो गया because जितने भी attributes हैं उसका text का size, color, font, alignment, ये हर चीज attributes में होती है, and ये यहाँ पे display होगी. And इसको हम change करने के लिए भी we need to access this section. Okay. So this was a layout editor. Now we want to change it. So activity, yes, this is what I was saying. Activity underscore main dot xml basically हमारी फाइल का एक डिस्क्रिप्शन कंटेन करती है of our screen layout. Okay, now we want to change कि hello world की जगह happy birthday दिखे. ऑलराइट, हमने यहाँ से डिजाइन पे जाके वी सिलेक्टेड आवर व्यू व्हिच इज टेक्स्ट व्यू इन दिस व्हिच इज हेलो वर्ल्ड। यहाँ पे इसके डिक्लेयर्ड एट्रीब्यूट सारे व्हिच इज जो कि करंटली इसमें डिप्लॉय हुए हुए हैं। इस टेक्स्ट इज हेलो वर्ल्ड, मुझे हेलो वर्ल्ड नहीं चाहिए, मुझे हैप्पी बर्थडे चाहिए। Now we changed and यहाँ पे जो ऑरेंज ऑरेंज आ रहा है we'll get to that later. Let's run this. किसी देर में रन होगा, we'll go ahead. अब हम 2 न्यू टेक्स्ट व्यूज डाल रहे हैं यहाँ पे। से हमें एक टेक्स्ट व्यू डिलीट करना है, उसकी जगह हम अपना डालेंगे अभी, बट ये रन हो रहा है। हम रन एक्चुअली लास्ट में कर लेते हैं बिकॉज दिस वे सिस्टम बहुत हैंग होगा एंड इतना टाइम नहीं है हमारे पास। ओके, सो दिस वाज जस्ट टू शो यू कि एक टेक्स्ट व्यू के डिक्लेयर्ड एट्रीब्यूट कैसे चेंज करते हैं। हमें ये टेक्स्ट बॉक्स नहीं चाहिए, यू जस्ट सिलेक्ट द टेक्स्ट बॉक्स एंड देन यू डिलीट, जस्ट कीबोर्ड पे डिलीट बटन प्रेस कर दो। सिस्टम हैंग कर रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ एंड इट्स गॉन। अब हमें 2 टेक्स्ट व्यू डालने हैं। यहाँ से grab a text view and put it here. Then we want another text view, so drag a text view and put it here. इसकी alignment हम भी करेंगे। Okay, so in दोनों text view के side में you can see this, it says missing constraints and constraint layout because हमने एक text view उठा के डाल तो दिया लेकिन उसमें alignment नहीं है, so we need to do that. Okay, here ये जो box है दिस इज बेसिकली ये हमारा टेक्स्ट व्यू है और ये इसके सारे टॉप लेफ्ट राइट बॉटम ये हमारे अलाइनमेंट्स हैं जो हमें पुट करने हैं। अभी इनकी वैल्यूज डिफॉल्ट है, इसमें कुछ भी वैल्यूज नहीं है। इनफैक्ट इस वाले में भी कोई वैल्यू नहीं है, तो इनको बस मैंने बस ला के छोड़ दिया है। अभी ये वैसे प्लेस था क्योंकि मैंने ला के इनको छोड़ दिया है, बट एक्चुअली अगर ये रन हुआ इसमें कुछ अलाइनमेंट में नहीं डालती हूँ तो इन दोनों में कुछ वैल्यूज नहीं है, so they might come together and our screen will look very bad. We don't want that. So this is called a constraint widget. Constraint में you can see here it's not horizontally constrained, it's not vertically constrained. You want to do that. What you want to put 16 as margins. Okay, यहाँ पे click on this blue button, यहाँ पे value आ गई, we want 16. Here also we want 16. I think मैं गलत text box कर रही हूँ. Yes, I am sorry. ये वाला मुझे नीचे चाहिए, so मैं यहाँ पे 16 डाल दूंगी। आई एम सॉरी, इसकी कुछ गलत हो गई, विल सी वहाँ से। पहले ये वाले टेक्स्ट बॉक्स को अलाइन करते हैं। इट शुड बी 16. We'll see the exact figure from the activity. 16 and 16 ये अलाइन हो गया है। The second one should be, okay, let's just drag this down. This is deleted, and we'll create a new one. Okay, let's add a text view. And we want 116 and 16. So यहाँ पे और यहाँ पे आ गए. Next, we want text to change. We don't want a text view. Okay. And we'll also put styling in this. So यहाँ पे मेरा text view है. I don't want it to display text view. I want it to say happy birthday. And I want this one to say from, let's just take a random name. Okay. ये बहुत ही छोटा है. That's no good for us. Let's go down in the attributes. And here we can see text size. Let's put this 36. You can change color if you want. We don't want that right now. You can do all of this: alignment, styling, size, font. So you can experiment with this on your own. Okay, now it's big enough. I'm not putting font right now because you can experiment with that on your own. I just showed you where the font is, and I also showed you where the color is, so you should do that. Okay, so this here is solution code. Say you do not want to type or do this whole thing, you can just go to Git and you can import this code. But I would suggest that you should perform this on your own instead of importing it. So to summarize, the layout editor, it helps us create UI for our app, and almost everything we see on the screen, text, buttons, etc., it's all view. A text view is it's a view group and it's used for displaying text in our app. It's also a UI element. Constraint layout is a container for other UI elements. इसके अंदर I can put text, images, buttons, whatever I want. Now, views need to be constrained horizontally and vertically. Otherwise, they might just collapse and an app would not look very nice. Then one way, what I did right now, constraint widget, it helped me align with the help of margins. And we can set attributes on a text view like font, text size, color. All right, just one more, and we will finish with three pathways for today. Okay, now we want to put an image. Okay, click here to access the image. So it's downloaded. Now okay, so we go to view, tools window, resource manager. Here is view. You go to tools window, then resource manager. Okay, here you can see all these images. Now you can see drawable. What is drawable? Sorry. I'll tell you that later. Click on Resource Manager, then click the plus here, and you want to import a drawable. This is, you can change your directory. You need to select if it went in my download, so I can see it from here. This is the image. You need to verify it's the correct image. This is what I wanted. Next, and import. That's it. Okay. So now I want to use it. And also, you can see now that in your, okay, yeah, in your project app, these are resources, RES. Then in your drawable, you see this party.png. So here also you can verify that whatever I uploaded, it went in the drawable. Okay. So now earlier we used text view to display our text. Now we can also use image view to display images. How do you do that? In the project window, open activity main. Yeah, this is opened already. Now, so this is palette, it has all the views. I will drag an image view. It will automatically open this box. This is the image I want. Okay. So this image, first I needed to get inside this pink box so that my image doesn't go out of my app screen. Now this image doesn't look very good. I need it to be stretched all the way. So just like we were, so it's like text needs to have a horizontal and a vertical constraint. Image views also need to have horizontal and vertical constraints. Okay, let's put 0, 0. In case, so mine is coming exactly here. In case it's not, yeah. So one way was I could have put a 0 from here. The other way, I used this blue dot, and then I stretched it all the way till my app screen. And let me show you here. Can't access it. No problem. You can just do 0 from here. Yes. Now you can see here constraint top and top of parent. Parent is my app screen, and the image that I put, it has the constraint of that its top border has to be the top of its parent. Okay. I want to change my layout width and height. Anyway, okay. So change the layout width and height from here. I don't want to wrap. So here's the why 0 dp. 0 dp is a shorthand to tell Android Studio to use match constraint for the width of image view. Oh, okay. So यहाँ पे 3 constraint आने चाहिए थे, top, bottom, and one more which I'm missing. So I'll put that. That's why it's not. Yes. needs to, it's aligned vertically, it's not aligned the other way. That's why. Let's start again. 0, 0. Now, yes. Okay. Okay. Now I want this image. I don't want this white portion here and here. So you go all the way down to scale type attribute. Here, scale type, and I will do center. No, I will do center crop. Yes. So this way, my image is the way I want. It doesn't have those white spaces and fits my entire screen. But now you cannot see those happy birthday messages here and here. You want that. So why is this happening? Because it also matters the way your order. जैसे मैंने एक इस ऐप स्क्रीन पे मेरे पास 3 व्यूज हैं. I have 2 text views and 1 image view. What also matters is the order in which I place them. मैंने पहले text place किया, फिर मैंने image place की. So now it's coming one above the other. That's not what I want. I want my image to go all the way back and my text to come up. So did you notice here? There's a text view 3 and image view. So सबसे ऊपर text view है, उसके नीचे just because it's white हमें पता नहीं चल रहा है, उसके नीचे text view है, and then text view है, उसके ऊपर text view है, and then उसके ऊपर एक image है. We don't want that. We want image सबसे नीचे, then the text box, then the other text box. This is how I change the order of my views. Okay, so now you can still see these 3 yellow triangles. Why is it on image? Yes, because the image. So what is hard-coded text? Now hard-coded text is okay. Image. So there's a hard-coded string to do. That's why it's showing this yellow sign. A hard-coded string is one which is written directly in our code. I didn't write it. It's written directly. It came with a default hello world, right? So they make it difficult for us to translate our app. Say I want this app to be translated in some other language. If I have a hard-coded string, जो इस app के अंदर already by default given है, so it's difficult to translate into another language or another system because they don't know the defaults. They will have their own defaults. So it's harder to reuse the strings. The solution that we have is we can extract those strings into resource file. I'll show you where the resource file is. And then जो भी text मुझे use करना है, उसको मैं उस resource file में डाल दूँगी and I will give it a name. I will place it inside a file and then instead of using that text directly, मैं वो file use करूँगी. I would say मुझे happy birthday print करना है and it's a hard coded string. Now उसमें by default hello world लिखा था, but I want a happy birthday. So instead of using happy birthday or hello world, मैं हेलो वर्ल्ड को हटाऊँगी, एक फ़ाइल के अंदर हैप्पी बर्थडे को प्लेस कर दूँगी और इंस्टेड ऑफ हैप्पी बर्थडे कॉल करने के बजाय मैं उस फाइल को यूज़ करूँगी एवरी टाइम आई वांट टू डिस्प्ले दैट टेक्स्ट। इट हैज़ 2 थिंग्स नाउ 1 इट्स ईज़ियर टू ट्रांसलेट इंटू अनदर लैंग्वेज क्योंकि उसको स्ट्रिंग नहीं ट्रांसलेट करना है, उसे फाइल की फाइल उठा के लेके जानी है। एंड द अदर इज़ अगर मुझे कोई टेक्स्ट बदलना होगा बाद में, इट आल्सो हेल्प्स मी इन दैट। आई जस्ट डोंट मेबी आई डोंट वांट कि उस फाइल के अंदर हैप्पी बर्थडे रीड करे आफ्टर अ सर्टेन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम। आल्सो हेल्प्स मी इन दैट। So, it should have a okay. So जहाँ पे भी येलो आ रहा था, you can just click on that yellow. It will show you the warning message and it will also give you a fix. So this is extract resource. Resource का नाम it's up to you, but it's better if you use a relevant name. यहाँ पे मैं ABC कुछ भी डाल सकती हूँ. But it's better if you use happy birthday because it's relevant to what your actual value is. You don't have to do anything. Just have to fix it like this. So this one, I want to fix it. Fix and fixed. I didn't have to do anything. Okay, so now there are no yellow signs. It's completely error free. And yes, you should see where it's going. Yes, is this resources? Can you see values? Values strings here. So now it automatically had this strings.xml and I didn't have to do anything. From the fix button, it already wrote this code for me. So now the string goes and not the actual text. Okay, so here also you can download a solution code, but again, I would suggest that you perform this on your own so you get a steady hand at Android Studio for further coding. Okay. Now there are different things, like I told you. You have some this happy birthday and this from Kirti. इसको तुम अपने वे में तुम इसमें styling डाल सकते हो. You don't just need to do a bigger text size. And okay, let's take the quiz. All right. Give me the first and second answers. All right. So first is which of the following elements is considered a view in an Android app? Option, it would be D. It's an image, a button, or a text on the screen. All of this comes in view. What is the main purpose of a view group? All right. Second B, it serves as a container for view projects and is responsible for arranging the view objects within it. Yes. Now, the type of view group that helps you arrange the views inside it in a flexible way would be, oh, the option is available, sorry, but it would be a constrained layout. That's because I filled it before. Which of the following are attributes in Android? Also, the attendance form link would be floated in about 5 minutes. So in the chat, it would be in the chat box. So be attentive and fill it from the chat box because otherwise, your attendance won't be marked. Okay. So which of the following are attributes? It's a text, it's a text size, and it's text color. Okay. So the attendance link is there in the chat box. You should fill it. In Android, a graphic that can be drawn on the screen is generally referred to as a. All right. So this is a graphic that can be drawn on the screen. It is generally referred to as a drawable. Which of the following is an example of a constraint that would be applied to a view in a constrained layout view group in the layout editor? Um, it's a view that must always be a minimum distance away from the edge of its container. It's a view that must always be to the right of another view, and it's a view that must be the topmost view inside a container. Doesn't have to be free of warning triangles. It doesn't always include a content description attribute. What is the purpose of activity underscore main XML file in the project that you created? Okay, I'll go fast. It describes the layout of view groups and views for a screen. Why should you use string resources instead of hard-coded strings in your apps? Because first, it makes your app easier to translate and it allows you to reuse the same string in multiple places in your program. It's not that it doesn't no longer you don't need to use strings in your app any longer, and it's not that it applies any special color attributes. It's none of that. Okay, so please make sure that you fill the attendance form. And I think we will wrap up today's session right here. Okay. Uh, we will finish for today. It's been 2 hours, and completed 3 pathways. Okay, so complete all these 3 pathways today itself. They're very short, they don't have a lot of activities. The fourth pathway is a little longer, that's why I won't be doing it today. Uh, I could start 2 activities, but I think it's better that we do it all together in the next session and make sure that you fill the attendance form. That's it. Thank you for today.